Hi, my name is Skylar Price. I'm doing 2006 style video blogs, mostly talking about my movie process, but also, as time goes on, other things. A little update on the money thing. I've been very transparent that there was some issues with the money. One of our investors didn't come through. One of our producers made some decisions, and a lot of people were not getting paid. The good news there is my producer talked to me 2 days ago, and he said that in 3 weeks everyone involved in the project will be paid, which is great news. He keeps telling me when he gives certain people money, I have some money coming in that I want to give to people that I would rather the money was going to. But apparently in 3 weeks I'll finally have this behind me because I have been losing my mind over this. I've been very sad about it, to say the least, and very stressed all the time, even on days when I can't do anything about it. You know, you make your calls, you try all day to make your money, you sell your personal belongings, but then at like 10 o'clock at night I still can't sleep because I'm stressing out about it. Not to get into it. It's just been a tremendous stress, and I'm really excited to get people what they deserve and squared away, and then to beg their forgiveness because the whole thing was fucked up. But I'm just really good. We are weeks away from solving it. Yeah, I won't get into that, but I no longer have a car. I've sold everything I own. Anyway, and other things that are going on, because I haven't been able to, the frustrating thing is my movie's really good. Like, I show it to people, it's basically the movie, it needs a sound mix and some colors, but it's been very, very frustrating to have a movie that, to a lot of the people I've shown it to, it has made them cry or have emotional reactions, or like, really like, more than you could hope for as a filmmaker, like, had some really good responses to it. And that it's just kind of sitting there because we can't move forward to it until people are squared away. On top of all the things going on with the money, it's been very artistically frustrating to finally be an inch from the finish line and have to just basically put the thing on a shelf and be like, in a couple of weeks, probably we'll be able. Because then once we pay everyone up, then we have to raise money to. It's very frustrating to have a movie that's 95% done and a little delayed. But this is how long these things take, I suppose. It's only been 3 months since we wrapped. Post usually takes 6 for a movie anyway. I thought we were going to get done soon. We're working on it. Other things I've been working on at the time, because this has soured me so much to so many things about the filmmaking process, the way that it was done, I have decided for my own sanity to write a zero-budget movie. I'm going to Wong Kar-wai it, make it up as we go along, casting my friends in it, using locations close to home, shooting it myself, and just like writing a good story, or trying to write a good story. That's the goal. And at least a funny story, and I have 2 people I'm really excited. My friend Yuki, who I think is the most beautiful, young, like movie star looking person that I'd love to feature, and my friend Felicia, who is also a fucking icon. If you're not familiar with her work, Felicia G on YouTube, Rule 34 is a great place to start. Give me the stimmy, a great place to go next, and then just explore her catalog because she's like legitimately my favorite musical artist who I listen to every day, and I know all the words to her songs. And it is crazy that she is not on MTV or a household name or whatever you like. I guess does MTV even play music anymore? No, I mean, just like I don't know what success is in music, but it seems like her music is so good and she is so iconic and so great that she should be at least as big as Doja Cat. I would say she's Doja Cat level. Anyway, that's been really exciting. The other thing I've been working on too is I've been just doing a lot of podcasts lately. I love talking, obviously. I know a lot of really interesting people that I'm really excited to talk with, and I have 2 podcasts going. One I'm doing with my friends Cassie and Nikki, that is just like a goof around podcast, just kind of a put it on the way to work, and we riff and joke around. And we have a couple episodes of that in the can that I've played for 1 or 2 people, and they turned out really good. I'm really proud of it, and we're working on that, and that's really exciting. That's like my main podcast. I'd like that to actually be successful. I like that. I'm gonna like work my ass off, see if I can make the best podcast I possibly can, market it in a smart way, yada yada, and put out a good product, and hopefully that'll come together. Because I think everyone involved in the project could use a little money. Like I think we're all nowadays looking for a side hustle, and if we could even make any money at all podcasting, it would just be. It's also like an insane amount of fun to just hang out with your friends and joke around. Like there's 2 ways you can frame it. Sometimes I'm like, hey, I hope we can make some money. And sometimes I'm like, I love doing this. I hope you do too. I guess that's a good sign for a podcast. So that's really exciting. The other podcast I'm working on, I did an interview for today. I'm interviewing all the queer and trans and interesting creators and artists that I am interested in. It's kind of cool to have a podcast and just reach out to other filmmakers. You know, and having filmmaker to filmmaker conversations. Like, I've never done this shit before. I know a lot of the people that I admire are coming in as outsiders. I think there's a lot of interesting artist-to-artist conversations about, like, why are you even do that in the first place? And what's involved in the nuts and the bolts. And I think I'm really excited to interview a lot of the other up-and-coming trans filmmakers that I'm aware of. I interviewed this wonderful person named Anansi, who is a really good writer. They live in DC. They are really intense about mutual aid for trans people and community. And a lot of stuff that are like my pet issues to talk about. So we had this 90-minute interview with them that'll be released that I think is really interesting. It was a little more serious than I think I usually go. I guess we were doing an interview episode, an interview show, like a WTF type show. Every episode's gonna have a tone of the guest. That's like the nature of the beast. Like, it's definitely like when I was talking to Nancy, you sit back and let them tell their story. That's what a good interviewer does. And then a very serious tone. They had a lot of things on their mind about, you know, the coming genocide, blah, blah, blah. All the stuff we all know about and try not to think about. They think about and are preparing for. So I thought they were an important voice to spotlight. I'm happy I got them. Although I am also looking forward to like doing people who can talk about movies and comedies and lighter episodes. That's been really exciting. It's been really hard to, I've been so into the movie, you know what I mean, for now a while, years, months, and it's gotten more and more intense. I was, up until a couple weeks ago, I was still like, since we can't afford editors, I was mostly editing on my own, and with this great kid Alex, who we got to a point, but like we kind of ran out of money for them too. So it's been really, I've just been very intense with it. And to let go of it right now, like to like force myself to let go of it has been really difficult because you know, a couple, like 6 weeks ago, we were talking about maybe we would get into Sundance in time. Maybe we can get it to distributor on time. Like big conversations were happening. The biggest conversations of my life, to be honest. I've never made it this far. You don't usually make it to the end of a movie. There's a million things that can go wrong before you get this far. I've never gotten to the point where I have a good movie that people want and are talking about to move on, and that was exciting. But maybe those conversations will continue in a month or 2 or 3. I hope they do. I think they will. I don't know how these things work. I'm pretty sure they will. A good movie's a good movie. People always need those. But yeah, it's been really hard to detach, and like it's been really like keeping me sane to have another movie to write and just move on and like get recording on that as soon as. The other thing is that everyone has COVID. You know what I mean? So as exciting it is to make a no budget movie with your friends, you know, and since we've started, it's been one case. We can't do it. You know what I mean? It's a rough time to do anything. So we have been held up on that, but that has been good. And also, editing a podcast definitely eats up my time because it turns out editing podcasts is way more work than I signed up for. You have a 90-minute riff session with people, and then you go to edit it. Okay, you listen to it once, and like label everything. That's 90 minutes. Then you go through and cut it down. That's another 90 minutes, and you're like, oh shit! For like an hour-long episode, I'm spending like 8 hours editing the same. It's been a lot of work, and I hope I don't have to keep. I'm doing it for the first 10 episodes. I'm doing everything in terms of editing. That is, I have a great producer named Keegan. She's been running the podcast. She's incredible to work with. But when it comes down to the editing, right now I am the sole editor, and it has been way more work than I needed. And also, you know, it's hard to make a beautiful thing that people want to listen to. I'm not going to complain about it. The thing that I'm most excited about in life, one of the things I had to do dealing with this money thing, and reselling everything I own and begging everyone I know for money again, when I just spent 2 years begging everyone I know for money, there were not any numbers in my phone that had not been called yet. There's no one that I hadn't already, you know. So sitting up people for the second and third time, which, you know, is seldom fruitful. But I did it. But I lost my train of thought. I'm sorry. Hang on. Yeah, I had to put off getting surgery I wanted to get a boob job. I really need one emotionally. I think it will fix me. It's a big part of my whole thing. And I was going to get one scheduled. We had some of the money saved up, and we thought, but as soon as this thing happened, that went out the window, which was extremely depressing for me. I've also been like really just depressed over the whole thing, to be completely honest. Like, I'm doing okay, you know, I'm not the main victim here. Like, I always want to center the people who got ripped off, not me. But, although I got ripped off too, I lost my fucking car. Fucking, I don't, anyway, moving on from that, and a moment. I live in LA and I don't have a car. But in the good news, my health insurance moved up my FFS surgery, which is a life-saving surgery. If you don't know what that means, it's when they take your face that looks like a boy, and they do every possible surgery. They pull your skin down, they shave your bones, they cut your skull, they pull your hair down. And when you're done, you look like a pretty girl, ideally. It's a little terrifying because, one, I'm not going to an absolute A-list guy. The guy I wanted was Kyo Jampa, or DB, like everybody else, and I thought I could make it work. I was fighting with health insurance, but ultimately, like, they fucked me around, and I could keep fighting it for another year or two, or I could take the guy I have now, who is not an A-lister, but up-and-comer. Certainly, my friend Cassie, who's a major plastic surgery snob, believes that 5 years from now he'll be considered an A-lister. He studied under some good people. He's a good name. He's like a strong top of the B-list pile. The B-plus list. Like, not an absolute A-lister, not a rock star, but, you know, certainly the best you can get that is in the top 6 dudes in the world. And also, he's done 2 people I know. He's done the girl I'm making a podcast with, and the girl who starred in my movie, who is gorgeous. And I've just spent months editing her. And the whole time I'm editing her, to be honest, I mean, I am obsessed with FFS. It's all I've thought about for 2.5 years. I can tell you to the minute how long it is till my surgery. It is something that is almost too personal and emotional to talk about. But cutting my movie and looking at the star of my movie, who has the same surgeon as me, and seeing how beautiful she is, I'm looking at like a work of art. I really see this doctor as an artist, and he can change my life. The other thing is too is I've known a lot of people who got FFS who kind of, I mean, to be real with you, looked forward to it, thought it was going to change their life, got it, and looked almost exactly the same afterwards. It happens all the time. There are all kinds of factors involved, and I am not going to the guy in the world who can make anyone beautiful. I'm going to someone who's not on that list, so it's for something I have my hopes so more up for than anything in my entire life ever, and the fact that it's uncertain, and that I don't know, like I can't help but get my hopes up, yet at the same time I'm terrified of being let down. Also, I'm a little annoyed. This guy likes to do surgeries in 2 shifts. So he'll be doing the top of my face now, and then in like 3 to 6 months, do the stuff below it, which is dragging it out. I think 95% of people get all their FFS in one go. This guy has his own philosophy, makes everybody go in 2 sessions. He's the doctor. If he wants to put even more time in, like I trust him. But as far as waving the magic wand and being done, you know, it's phase 1 of an ongoing process. Transition is a process, blah, blah, blah. But anyway, FFS has been very much on my mind. It is 13 days away, something like that. I'm terrified of getting COVID. I wear masks. I'm super vaxxed. I wonder if it will change my life, and I try not to have that thought, because I just hope it does. Anyway, not to go on that topic, but it is all I think about. My wife is definitely something I've burdened her with over the 2.5 years since I've been trying to. Also in America, it took me 2.5 years to get it approved by insurance and booked, which is insane. It was insane, and like that wasn't even the guy I wanted. It would have been 3 or 4 maybe to get the guy I wanted approved. But to go for a second stringer took 2.5 years. Although I would say like 9 months ago, I had 9 months, a year ago, I had a chance to get FFS with a doctor, but he was bad. He was straight up bad, and when he gave me my BBL, he touched me in some inappropriate ways and talked to me in a way that, you know, he really, you know, they call him Dr. Chaser. He was a gross dude. Anyway, a lot of the people who went into plastic surgery and specialize in trans girls are a certain type of weird dude. I thought that'd be good. To be honest, I saw a Chaser doctor who was like 70 years old and had like neon green hair on his Instagram and had a photo of him with $2 at the TEA Awards. I'm like, this guy is a pervert, maybe he could make me into a sex object. But that was not how it worked out. He was a pervert and he didn't care because, you know, I don't know. I had a bad experience. Long story short. Then on a happier note than that, surgeries are a whole fucked up thing. I was hanging out with my friend today who's a surgery nerd as well. A wonderful woman, a really wonderful woman, and we just talked about like the weird drugs she takes. She takes diabetes drugs, even though she has diabetes. Like, anyway, I'll wrap it up. I feel like this was kind of like more of an info dump on like a checklist of like what's been going on, and I might watch it and not post it, but clearly I did. Anyway, have a good night. Be a god.